The Houston Astros are the 2022 World Champions, and what a run it has been for this team. They were coming in as the best team pretty much in the league, to be honest, from all the statistics and all, the stats and all that stuff. And then they go up against some pretty good teams, honestly. I think they had a, run for their money kind of in a couple series. Obviously facing the Mariners, that was a really close series, even though it was 3-0, all one-run games. The Yankees was really easy series for them, but then the Phillies did show, at least in the first three games, why they actually got to there, because they did put up a really good fight. But yeah, I think after that no-hitter situation happened, the Phillies were just absolutely done. I mean, they did have some life. Kyle Schwarber was still there hitting home runs, still doing what he was supposed to do, but after that, there wasn't really much life in the Phillies. Like, they just struck out a lot of times. And I think they had over 70 or 71 strikeouts throughout the whole World Series in general. So not really the best. That was one of the new records I guess they hit for a World Series team. Just looking at the Astros once again, I mean, phenomenal year. I mean, I know people are still salty about the 2017 World Series run, which, don't get me wrong, has some definitely implications on how that whole situation played out. But if you actually look at the roster, there's only about 5 players that were actually on that team, which is Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Justin Verlander, McCullers, and Yui Gurriel are the only 5 players that were on that 2017 roster. All the other players are completely new, like we've seen before. I mean, this is a completely new roster from that squad, and they've done a really good job to actually come together and win it for Dusty Baker, who I'm very happy that has got a finally ring after, 20-something years of managing, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. So that's just crazy in general. Yeah, so I think my big takeaways for the Phillies is they had an incredible season. I mean, you look at this roster, they're only 2 games away from not making the playoffs because the Brewers could have took that spot from them. They had a really good run. I did not expect them to get to the World Series. I really thought the Phillies were going to get destroyed by the Cardinals, to be honest, and that just didn't happen. They had clutch hitting throughout this whole postseason. Ended up being the Cardinals, the Braves, and the Padres. And they took 2 games off the Astros, so really impressive run from them. I mean, I saw a couple of tweets of a lot of the guys from the Phillies were just sitting in the locker room just talking about the season. Most of the guys were just talking about how the season went, what the next season might bring. I saw Bryce Harper's interview where he was like, we expect the same thing next year, with a couple more pieces added on. So I think this team's very hopeful that they're going to get back here next year, which I think is a big possibility. I mean, that's a really hard division they're in right now, so we'll see if it actually happens. But once again, they do have a lot of wild card potential to get in that wild card game again. So we'll see what happens for the Phillies. I mean, really good season this year. Big takeaways are they have to make a lot of decisions through this offseason. Probably one of their best runs they've had in a while. Definitely going to add to their history books because they obviously won the pennant, but didn't actually get it done. So kind of unfortunate for them, but they're definitely going to add this year to their championships. But going into the offseason, they do have a couple free agents on the market. Aaron Nola is a big free agent for them. A lot of their bullpen, I'm pretty sure, is up. A lot of their position players seem to be signed or they're on arbitration, so they should be good on that front. But we'll see what they do with that pitching. Once again, it's a big pitching free agent market. I can't stress this enough. A lot of pitchers are up. So, going to see what they have to do with that big pitching free agent market. Definitely will sign a lot of pitchers, I think, that they're going to need for the next season. So interesting to me. The Zach Wheeler thing's a whole other situation. Why did he take Zach Wheeler out? No idea what was going on there. I saw Ron Topps' interview about it. He thought he was throwing good. He thought the matchup, Jose Alvarez and Yordan, was better. Don't really understand why he took him out, though. We saw this with Blake Snell in 2020. You don't take your ace out. You live and die by your ace. That's a fact that we know for years, and it always screwed the team that has taken their ace out. I knew as soon as they took Zach Wheeler out, he was going to hit that home run. I had a feeling because, it's always happened. It's always happened. We've seen it in 2020 as well with Snell, and then he ended up leaving. So we'll see. I think Wheeler's still signed for another couple years. So, I don't think that'll be the worst situation for him. But yeah, it's just interesting decision. I think Ron Thompson's still the guy, though. One bad decision, it's tough. You got to bite the bullet. And on to the next one. And looking at the Astros, all their position players are pretty much signed. I'm pretty sure their whole pitching roster is up on this market. I don't think they have that many pieces from their hitters that are up. I think everyone's pretty much signed when I was looking at their contracts. So, once again, big free agent market. They're going to have to sign a lot of these guys back. And, they'll probably be back here next year, if I'm going to be honest. They'll probably be back in the postseason. We'll see if there's any other AL teams that, will contend with them. We didn't really have any this year. I mean, the Yankees didn't really do that much against them. I'd say the Mariners were probably the best team that the Astros have faced in that small amount of time, in the AL at least. But yeah, not much to say about the Astros. Really good season. and they ended up getting the job done pretty well. So it's commendable from them that way. All right, so now we're gonna go into the off season, right? So the World Series has finally concluded, but now it's the real time for the GMs to start the work. We gotta wait 5 days to the World Series for any decisions to be made about guys opting in, opting out. All that stuff is officially confirmed by the league 5 days after the World Series starts. We're obviously going to hear stuff about it. We've heard the Rizzo might opt out. We heard Nolan Arenado opted into his contract. There's a ton of guys that are going to be opting in, opting out. So if you guys want to look at it, Baseball Reference is currently my site to go to. I love that site for learning everything about the offseason. And if you want to look up team contracts, you can just go and Google, look up, Phillies contracts, Astros contracts, any team contracts. Go to Baseball Reference to find all the information. One of the best sites to use, honestly, in my opinion, to find who's a free agent, what's their contract looking like, all that good stuff. If you guys want to be more in depth on who the teams think they should get, it's pretty interesting to look at. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so the 2022 season is over. I can't believe it. We're already in November, so kind of crazy to think about. The next big thing will be the WBC. So I hope you guys are excited for the World Baseball Classic in March, and should be very exciting. And then obviously we got spring training with that, and then we got the league starting back up again. So we got a little 3-4 month kind of break here with baseball being out. But we also have the Arizona Fall League is currently going on now, and the Dominican Winter League is going on now. If you guys want to watch that baseball over there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my socials down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.